Hey guys, welcome back to Sensei's Journey. I'm the anime trainer, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about cardiorespiratory health. So when you're first starting out training your cardio, a lot of people want to go really hard. They want to run really fast. They want to do all sorts of things. They want to do metcons, or they want to do high intensity interval training. And that stuff's all well and good, but unfortunately that's not the beginning levels of cardiorespiratory training. To give you guys an idea of what that would look like in terms of like a weightlifting application, it would be the same thing as that if you, instead of learning proper form and focusing on movement and posture and all of that, went straight to, I'm going to put as much weight as I possibly can onto this bar and I'm just going to go. You might do okay. You might not. Your form's probably not going to be that great, so your progressions are not going to be fantastic. You're not actually going to get solid gains from it. But at the same time, you're very likely to injure yourself. So if you're jumping straight into high-intensity interval training, or something that's very difficult right off the bat, you know, if you've never done anything ever before and you've jumped into a CrossFit class, you might be in trouble. That's not to say that those things are necessarily, not effective. It's just that they do different things. So what we are looking at the very beginning of your training for basic cardiorespiratory health is just move for an extended period of time. You can, at the very beginning of your training, you can literally just walk for 30 to 60 minutes at a time. Just walk. Doesn't even have to be on an incline. Just move. You start doing that 180 minutes a week, that's when you really start to see benefits from your cardiorespiratory training. After you establish the volume of that 180 minutes or so, at that point, then you can start thinking about, am I going to increase the intensity? And mind you, that doesn't mean that now I've done 180 minutes, so that means I get to jump straight into high intensity interval training. No, we're going to start doing some intervals, but they're going to be light intervals. So we're going to have our amount of time that we would normally be doing our training, 60 minutes or so, 30 minutes or so, 60 minutes at the long end. And we're going to start throwing in some jogging intervals. So for instance, if you're walking for 30 minutes, you might walk for 3 minutes and then jog for a minute. Walk for 3 minutes and then jog for a minute. And you're going to continue on in that fashion until the time is up. And in that way, you're able to increase your intensity, but gradually. Because unlike lifting weights, you can't just put 2.5 pounds on either side of the bar and all of a sudden you are, further along. It's a little bit more complex because there's so many repetitions of movement during the activity. You have however many foot strikes it is during while you're walking or jogging for 30 minutes. And so it's really quite different in terms of how you need to think about it. So the adaptations that are going to start occurring during your cardiorespiratory training at the very beginning is that your heart's going to get stronger, so that means it's going to have a lower resting heart rate, and you're going to start having more mitochondria start to be in your muscles, which means that you're going to be able to do things more efficiently, and you're just probably going to have more energy as you go about your day, and you're not going to be as winded if you try to go up some stairs. It's really just about your everyday life. So at the very beginning of cardiovascular training, you're not worried about performance. Performance comes later. Actually comes much later. So it goes health, and then we start talking about maybe some fitness, and then we move on to performance. But at the very beginning, we just want to do enough cardio for health purposes, because if you can't build a house on a shoddy foundation. And the foundation for your cardiovascular fitness is the volume of low intensity work, because even as you move on into higher intensity work, it's still not the vast majority of the cardiovascular fitness like work that you're going to be doing, because the more work that you do at that higher intensity, the harder it is to recover. And so there you reach a certain point that you aren't even able to recover from the work that you're doing. So even when you are a, professional athlete, depending on your sport, you're going to have more low to moderate intensity cardiovascular training, cardio-respiratory training, than you would for your high intensity or super high intensity training. It's just, and that may not necessarily mean that, I go out and jog, but a lot of your skill work and whatnot is going to be at that lower intensity. So you're never going to get away from low intensity training because the foundation of your cardiorespiratory fitness and your cardiorespiratory performance. So when you are training, I want you to think about it's just about the time at the very beginning, and it's just about you putting in those minutes. 180 minutes to start off with. Nice and easy. Get it done. If you hate cardio, if you absolutely despise it, find something that you enjoy. It doesn't have to be walking. You can be rowing. It can be on elliptical. It can be on a stair climber. Just do it. Find something that you enjoy and just do it. Or if you can't, if you just feel like a hamster in a wheel, put some headphones in, listen to a podcast, listen to some music, and just move. At the very beginning, you're going to hate it, but after a while, you'll start to get into a groove and it won't feel as bad. And then when you're ready to improve and you're ready to increase your intensity, you can finally do that, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you're going to be hurting yourself because you did too much too soon. All right, so this is just a short kind of introduction into the cardiorespiratory training. We already talked about muscular training. We talked about strength. We talked about hypertrophy, size. We talked about muscular endurance training. This is definitely, as far as like muscular stuff goes, is primarily starting off with muscular endurance training, but we're talking about cardiorespiratory endurance, which is the beginning portion of your training. So we'll go a little bit more in depth on some of these later. I just kind of wanted to talk about the three primary areas of cardiorespiratory training that you're going to run into. So yeah, in any case, anyway, thank you guys very much for watching this video. Just a short little introduction to cardiorespiratory fitness. And if you have any questions, or if you would like me to cover any additional topics on fitness stuff, you can leave that in the comments. You can always ask me on oh gosh, I'm sweating. It's super hot out here. You can always ask me on Twitter @TheAnimeTrainer. And until next time, guys, good luck and train hard.